When we talk about India, we say India is full of corruption, India is full of caste system, women now don't feel safe here, minorities oppressed, and Indian civilization, Indian culture has survived for 3000 years. How is that possible? One of the two things must be true. Either those statements are wrong, or something called Indian culture, Indian traditions do not exist. So, if we all live here, we all are part of this culture, the question then is what's wrong with these images? What's happened? So, I'll give you three steps that you can take in your own life, because there are no research reports which you can go read and find out whether these images are right or wrong. There is no big scholar in India, in the world, anywhere, who will teach you at every walk, at every step of your walk, who will come and tell you, no, this image is wrong, this image is wrong. That's not going to happen. You have to become that researcher. So, step one, when when you see these kind of problems, ask the first question: do the numbers? Anyway, before that, when you talk about, ask this question: do the numbers hold when you see any image? Take the image like India is corrupt. Maybe you don't see there from there. It's taken from some Ramana media network. I didn't create it. When we say India is corrupt, these are the kind of things that we go around saying. What 15 years ago, I think some IAS officer retired said every third Indian is corrupt. 33% Indians are corrupt. 50% Indians are borderline corrupt. That was a statement he had made. And these things we keep hearing. There is also CPI index, the corruption perception index, which always places India somewhere below the 50% top countries. When you see these kind of images, ask the first question: do the numbers hold? What does it mean? If I am making this statement that every third Indian is corrupt, and in my family there are three people: my wife, my kid, and me. My kid is 7th standard kid. Realistically speaking, I can't say he's corrupt. मतलब नहीं रहता है ना. And I'm making the statement. Obviously, I have to leave myself out, whether I say it or not. Because even if I say, no, I was corrupt once upon a time, etc., still because I'm aware of it now and I'm presenting in front of you, automatically I'm left out. Means what? My wife is corrupt. Or there are many young people here. You may be living with your parents, old father and an old mother. So you have to leave yourself out. Now, between your father and mother, take a pick. Who would you leave out? Who will you call corrupt? Mother? So this is the problem which we don't even realize when we make and accept these kind of statements. Take the next one. Maybe you will not be able to read it. It's a quotation from Barack Obama's interview, which he gave somewhere in 2023, just before general election of India. What did he say? Minorities are oppressed in India. Ethnic minorities, religious minorities, caste minorities, everybody is oppressed in India, and whole lot of people in India, journalists, newspapers, media, just telecasted it everywhere. We liked buttons when somebody shared it on Facebook. We said yes to Instagram posts and whatnot. Can you imagine what is the problem with this in terms of data? Do the numbers hold question? What's the problem with this? Can you guess for a minute? Say, I'm a Christian by birth, brought up as a Christian. As we go to church, so I have some edge to talk about minority oppression in India. But I won't give you anecdotes. We will do the mathematics, as we say, back of the envelope mathematics. Let's count 150 crore Indians. Leave out all the ethnic minorities. I don't know who counts as ethnic minorities. Maybe all Northeast and some tribes in South, etc. Nilgiri, the tribes living in Nilgiri or Kurgis, these kind of people. Let's say they are about 10%. So 10% left out of 150 crore. Now we have to leave out all caste minorities. SC, ST, OBC. Kitna jayega? Any idea what's the population count of SC, ST, OBC? About 60%. So you leave out 60 plus 10, 70% gone. You have to leave out religious minorities now. Muslims, Christians, Parsis, Jains, doesn't matter who you count them in. Another 20%. So kitna gaya total? About 90% gone. What is left? 10% Indian population. Wait, mathematics is even more shocking than this. 10% bachaye. That 10%, you have to leave out all the kids. You're not going to say my sixth standard kid is an oppressor unless you make some big theories. Leave out the kids. 3%. Leave out the sick people, old people, hospital, अपाहिज लोग वगैरह वगैरह उनको छोड़ दो. And if you're coming from one stream of thinking, feminism, you have to leave out many women also in that from that. So बचता क्या है? 3%, 2%. If you're very generous, let's say 3% Indians are left, which means what? Basically, upper caste, working, tax paying Brahmins. So, are we saying for 3000 years, these 3% Indians have oppressed an entire population in India? We didn't even think of these things. We just accepted Barack Obama's talk. It was our Facebook status. It was our WhatsApp forward. It was our Instagram. Go back and check how many thousands of likes have been, hearts have been pressed on them. Third thing that Rahul has been persuading me to talk about, and I'm very hesitant because certain topics are very sensitive in India. Caste system is one of them. I'll still not talk about it, but I'll give you some ideas. No matter where, he gave you already example about Brahmins. I just gave another aspect of it. Caste system problem. Think about it from wherever, whichever end. I co-edited a book which Pandeyji was referring to, Western Foundations of India, and the first part of it, which is the article that I co-wrote, is about do the numbers hold? The way we talk about caste oppression in India is to say one whole set of people have been oppressed by a small minority, right? There's a data that is available by the government, done by the police department called NCRB data. Go there, open any years of data and check which community faces highest amount of oppression in India. You do the math. I've done it. After you do the math, go to the book, open the book, read that article that I have written about the caste. Right. Take a fourth example. We'll move ahead. Women's oppression in India. I won't say more. I'll leave the topic to you to do the maths, but I'll just tell you one thing about it. There's a movie that became a semi-hit a few years ago, Padman. And I think about the title, I feel really ashamed. What is the movie saying? For 3,000 years, 4,000 years, women in India didn't know about hygiene. Is that what the movie say? Why did it even become a hit in India? Why did we like the movie? It made 100 crore in India, 100 crore abroad. When people sitting in Japan, China, where it became very popular, saw this movie, what did they think? And we are happy that it made 100 crore abroad. Anyway, there is a first stage. When you encounter these kind of images, ask the first question, do the numbers hold? And you will realize numbers don't hold. Then the next stage, which is very important for you, if the numbers don't support it, why do these images persist? Why do we think India is corrupt? See, no matter how much data about caste system, minority oppression, women's oppression, I lay in front of you on charts after charts, table after table, it will stop there, and after half an hour, you go back and you will like some image, some post on WhatsApp or Instagram or Facebook, which will say something like this. So the question is, if the numbers don't hold, why do these images persist? I know some of you probably at the moment is thinking, I don't subscribe to these images. Only one section, one ideological group subscribes to this. Yeah, I know which number or name will you put to that ideological group. But I want to tell you, it's not that simple. If another civilization, if another culture has ruled us for 1,000 years, we have been colonized by two cultures, if you don't know. One is the Islamic culture and then the Britishers. If they are able to colonize us for 1000 years, these images have played a role there. So, how these images are so powerful, they penetrate across ideological boundaries. The only difference is somebody will have contempt for India and say, I don't want to live here, it is so corrupt, so this, then that, I want to leave India and go abroad. Another person will say, "Bahut dil jalta hai when I see this kind of corruption in India. I want to do something for India." But end of the day, both of them think, both of them perpetuate the same image that India is corrupt.